If you want to understand the history of Palestine over the last century, there is one name you need: Walid Khalidi. He rigorously documented the Palestinian experience into an archive that can't be ignored or erased, even if you try. And when I say rigorous, I mean he created a village-by-village account of the 1948 Nakba, turning it into the definitive archive of what was lost. And this is just one of the ways that he established himself as the central historian of modern Palestine.
The Zionist claim, which to this day is being perpetuated, that this was a desert and that they made it bloom. And this is absolutely not true.
Khalidi was born in Jerusalem in 1925 and grew up during the British Mandate, a time where Palestinians were ruled by a colonial power that prioritized Zionist settlement and immigration and restricted their self-determination. In the mid-1940s, he left Palestine to study at Oxford University, where he trained as a historian and political scientist. At that moment in time, he didn't realize that he would never be able to go back and live in his village again.
Latest pictures from war-torn Palestine provide these impressions of Haganah forces consolidating areas under their control. Towns like Acre and Jaffa, held by the Jews, gave evidence of recent battles and evacuations.
In 1948, Israel forcibly displaced his family and around 750,000 other Palestinians from their homes, turning them into refugees and severing their connection to the land they had lived on for generations. Those experiences shaped his long-life mission, to document exactly what happened to Palestine and its people. After leaving Oxford, Khalidi moved to Beirut, where in the 1950s he taught at the American University of Beirut and began focusing his research on the Arab-Israeli conflict and the fate of Palestine. He spent years collecting documents, interviewing refugees, analysing the 1948 war and the 1956 Suez Crisis, slowly building the archive of evidence that would later feed into his landmark books. In the mid-30s, he co-founded the Institute of Palestine Studies in Beirut, one of the first independent research centres dedicated to Palestine and the Arab-Israeli conflict. He built a network of scholars, archives and translators, turning the institute into a global hub for serious scholarship on the region and launching the Journal of Palestine Studies. This became the leading academic outlet for critical work on Palestine and the wider Middle East. But wait, there's more. In 1984, he published Before Their Diaspora, a photographic history of Palestinian society before 1948. Through images of cities, schools, and villages, he showed a world that Palestinians once knew in their youth, a reality that many try to deny and erase today.
I hate to blow my trumpet, but I really don't think there are many books, introductory books, that can compete with it.
In his 70s and beyond, he led the monumental project All That Remains, documenting more than 400 depopulated Palestinian villages with detailed histories, maps and testimonies. Khalidi amplified intimate, unbearable stories, turning private grief into historical evidence of what was lost. Khalidi made sure stories like this were not forgotten, embedding them in the historical records so that the Nakba would be felt, not just as a statistic, but as a lived tragedy.
Time is the crucial commodity. The Israeli exploitation of time is stunning, as any visitor to the occupied territories can verify.
Across his 80s and 90s, Khalidi kept writing, editing, and mentoring younger scholars. He died on March 8, 2026 at the age of 100, but left behind a very rare legacy.